How's it going there, ladies and gentlemen? Hellstone here again, and today I have another video for you all. It has been quite a while since I've uploaded anything. I know that seems to be the thing that I always say, but there's always been a reason for it. So if you haven't noticed, I have new surroundings right now. Just recently, I was stationed at Fort Bliss, Texas. And because of that, as I'm sure you can all imagine, it's been insanely hectic getting here, getting established, starting my job, getting to know all my people. But I do want to start uploading more videos. And so as I was sitting around thinking about what I wanted to do a video on, I thought, well, I'm now a part of the 1st Armored Division. What can I do with that? And then I thought, why not do a video on Operation Torch? Now, Operation Torch, if you don't know what it is, essentially during World War II, the U.S. had just entered the war. We and our allies were trying to kind of link together and figure out how exactly we wanted to enter into Europe and liberate it. A lot of people wanted to go in just through France and link up with the Soviets on the one side. Other people wanted to go in through Africa, actually, and then go up through Italy as well as through France, making a free front war. That ended up being what happened, and the 1st Armored Division played a major role in that operation, and so I figured, hey, today we'll do a video on that. So that is what we're going to be watching today, just a quick little video on Operation Torch. I'm excited for it. So without further ado, let's hop into the video.
Today in the Daily Dose, Operation Torch. Given the top-secret nature of Operation Torch, few Americans took notice of the massive buildup of warships, troops, and other weapons of war amassing on the east coast of the United States throughout the bulk of 1942. Rails and highways bristled with eastbound processions of military might, a massive parade of equipment, supplies, and personnel. Across the pond, British tanks, guns, and troops clogged rail lines in a similar fashion as the two Allied nations prepared for the invasion of French North Africa, intended to draw Axis forces away from the Eastern Front in hopes of relieving mounting stress on a hard-pressed Soviet army.
It is worth noting that during this time in the war, the Soviet Union was losing just massive amounts of troops fighting on that Eastern Front, and Stalin was actually very upset with the Allies, the U.S. and Britain in particular, for not opening up another front and relieving some of that stress sooner. So actually, a big reason, or at least I should say one of the big reasons that this operation went ahead was to, as the video just stated, help relieve some of that pressure on the Eastern Front, and it ended up coming to great effect.
While American war planners had pushed for a landing in Northern Europe, Operation Torch came about as a compromise with British war leaders who felt that a premature D-Day-style invasion of the European mainland would lead to disaster at such an early stage in the war. From November 8th through the 16th, U.S. and British forces engaged General Dwight D. Eisenhower's three-pronged offensive on French North Africa, the western flank at Casablanca, a center prong at Oman, and an eastern offensive at Algiers, with plans for a rapid advance on the German-Italian Africa Corps at Tunis, in conjunction with the second Allied pincer-style advance on Tunis from Egypt. After loosening up shoreline defenses, with varying degrees of Allied naval bombardment, the Western Task Force at Casablanca experienced both heavy resistance and bad weather, eventually capturing French Vichy's primary Atlantic naval base after a short siege, while the Center Task Force suffered damage to some of their ships as they landed in shallow waters, at the same time sinking or driving off all French naval assets. The Eastern Task Force met with even less resistance following an anti-Vichy coup attempt on the day of invasion, leading to the surrender of Algiers on the opening day of the campaign. After 3 years of Axis aggression, which dictated the tempo of Allied defensive responses, the rapid success of Operation Torch marked a turning point moment in the Allies' attempts to push back against Axis aggression, forcing Axis troops to defend both its eastern and western fronts. The invasion force of some 100,000 U.S. and British personnel demonstrated a successful, albeit imperfect, collaboration between British and American war planners, which if viewed in
I will say, going along with what the video just talked about, just the fact that, you know, the Allies were able to have a noticeable win, to have the opportunity to set the tempo for the battles rather than having the Axis being the ones to always set the tempo. That was just a huge morale improvement, if anything. And I think that's something that's often overlooked is just how important morale is during these major multi-year conflicts. It's easy to get burnt out. Populations get burnt out. That will to fight very easily gets burnt out. And so I do think that's another important note.
In tandem with the Americans' promising Solomon Islands campaign and the Soviets' ability to hold the Eastern Front, the triumvirate of events positioned the Allies in a significantly better place in late 1942 than they had been in early spring, making Operation Torch a critical breakthrough in the Allies' steady march toward victory.
All right, I think that is the, oh, nope, a little bit more. All right, so let's talk about that a little bit more. I really enjoyed that video myself. Operation Torch is one of the things that I actually already knew quite a bit about moving into that video. A couple of years ago, I was actually sent to Morocco with the National Guard as part of a training exercise. And I remember just being out in the desert heat. I could only imagine how difficult it would be to operate under wartime conditions in that kind of an environment. The heat, the exhaustion, lack of plumbing, everything like that that just went into it. And so it's definitely something that, it was a monumental feat, I think, is fair to say, going into the war. And so I really enjoyed that video. I am excited to be here in Fort Bliss. I'm looking forward to what the future brings, all the opportunities that I'll have. And I'm excited to start making YouTube videos again. It's something that I definitely missed over these last couple of months, just going through Bullock and getting myself all situated. It's something that I just really didn't have time for. But now that I'm here, I do think I'll have more time for it. So I'm excited to start uploading more videos. So keep an eye out for that. Anyway, I think that'll do it for this one. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.